Bowl season is here. Are you ready to cash in on what you know? Where you play is as important as what you play. The pros play at mybookie.ag. All the lines, odds, and plays, both college and pro, all at mybookie.ag. Play where you get paid super fast and there's never a hassle. Step up and mybookie.ag will match your deposit with up to a 50% bonus. Use promo code JJ50 to activate the offer. Don't leave the money on the table. mybookie.ag, promo code JJ50, and your first deposit is matched up to 50%. Play where the pros play because they get paid. mybookie.ag.
And now, Jalen and Jacoby on ESPN Radio.
When I pop the trunk, head to death. Y'all pop the trunk, I pop the hood. Now act stupid, I'll pop the trunk. Now give me a boom.
He is Jalen Rose.
What up, doe?
My name is David Dowling Jacoby.
And on the cool check-in, center stage, on the mic.
And we putting it on wax. It's the new style.
4 and 3 and 2 and 1.
What up?
We're Jalen Jacoby. What do we do?
We get a people.
Yes.
What they want.
We have no radio show today. We only have a television show, so the podcast is going to be a little bit shorter, but we would never leave you without a dope pod to step to.
Yes, indeed.
And we always give the people what they want, so we're going to open up our voicemail box and our Twitter feed and go to our Reddit page and see what the people want, because we give the people what they want. First question that we have is from James.
Shout out.
Jalen and Jacoby, I'm wondering if talking to someone while using the bathroom is cultural. I'm going to say no. No.
That is not cultural.
That's personal. And some people do it, some people don't. I have no trouble having a conversation with someone outside the stall if I'm in the stall. No problem whatsoever.
I don't either.
I'm not shy.
I don't either.
I'm not shy whatsoever. We can
The
talk.
only way-
You can listen to me.
the
I'll
only
listen
way-
to you.
Here's the thing, though. Not if I smell anything.
Next,
We
this is
can't
from
kick
our
it.
co-producer, Big Crown.
Shout out.
His question is, who is the all-time best stretch mark for? And that is clearly, and without a doubt, the original
Charles
stretch
Barkley.
mark for Charles Barkley. He is the original stretch mark for. He is the stretch mark for that all other stretch mark fours desire to be in their careers.
And let's take it a step further. He's the logo.
Of the stretch
Round
mark
on the
four.
rebound of stretch mark fours.
We got to make a stretch mark 4 logo. Stretch mark 4, stretch mark 4 I think could really, competitiveness is not going to make the lexicon. Like, no one's going to start saying competitive except for me. But stretch mark 4 does have potential to get there. And soon everyone will forget that this is where it originated. That's all good.
Yep.
If you
David
call
Jacoby.
If you call 985-80-JALEN, you can leave a voicemail. If you leave a voicemail, we'll play on the show just like this.
Hey guys, it's Lydia from Virginia. I'm just doing what I usually do. I have my commutes that I do. I work as a behavior coach for kids with autism, and I just want to shout you guys out right now because if it weren't for you guys, I don't know how I would get through my commutes throughout the day. I am on the road for long periods of time, and I gotta say, you guys truly, truly, truly make my drives to my clients' houses so much more enjoyable for what they could have been. That being said, though, I kind of have to pull like a Jalen move where I kind of say something positive, and then I kind of give a negative. I was listening, and I got to say, when I was young, I was an avid Instinct fan, and I heard you guys talking about it, and I hate it because, Jacoby, I got to get on you because I love you so much. But if you're going to make fun of Jalen for not knowing Instinct songs, you have to know Instinct songs, too. And when you were making fun of him, and when Reggie told him Gone in his ear, you started singing I Want It That Way. And I'm so sorry to say, that's a Backstreet Boys song. So you're going to dish it to Jalen. You got to know it, too. I'm sorry. I just had to do it. It hurt my heart to hear it. But I have to correct that. As a person, as an Instinct fan, I had to correct it. But I love you guys so much. I love you so much. Have a great day. All right. Bye.
I love
her.
everything
She's
about
the
that call.
absolute best.
Everything about that call I absolutely love. First of all,
she is the
First
best.
of all, there's so many things I love. I'm just going to go through some of them. Number one, we always represent for educators out there. Yep. You know, Jalen and I understand that the salary on educators should be 10 times what it is. Yep. They are the backbone of our society. They take care of our kids when we're not there. The educators that work with my children are with them almost as much, if not more, throughout the day than they are. And especially those that work with people with behavior problems or underprivileged or other such maladies. Shout to you.
No doubt. The world should stop on its axis right now. Fast forward the clock and pay each of those individuals you just described double moving forward. Whatever they get, it should be doubled starting tomorrow before we even start to negotiate like the WNBA.
Second.
Number one. Two, I'm glad we are part of your commute. It makes this process of shooting this podcast every day well worth it when we know people are on the move from place to place and they get a chance to download and listen to us instead of the same 5 radio songs that get played constantly every hour. Whatever cycle that may be. Now the next thing, and by the way, I do know another member of NSYNC now to think about it. Lance Bass in NSYNC.
Jalen,
right?
Jalen, you've been researching. You've been talking to Molly. I know what happened. You didn't just come up with that. I know you. You did not just come up with that. You and Molly had a conversation about NSYNC last night.
I actually remember that because I saw he kind of had a weight fluctuation and he did some with his hair. I remember him.
Okay.
But here's the thing.
Explain the plot to Lance Bass.
I already did. So, haven't heard or seen him since Justin left. But I'm going to see him at the Super Bowl. But anyway, so let me get this right. And thank you for having my back. You want to clown me for not knowing NSYNC members or the name of their song.
Of course I do.
First and foremost, Reg supposed to have my back, and he yelling the wrong song in my ear and got me spitting it into a microphone. That's one. What? That's right. I wanted you to chime in.
No, Reg, I can hear Reg yelling in the control room right now. Yelling, just repping for himself.
Because Reg is, you're going to like this.
So you're
competitive.
No, so here's what happened,
Number
Jalen.
two.
Jalen, you're getting it all
you
wrong.
Don't even, you don't even listen to you. Ain't like that one.
Can I stay up? I like that you use competitive. It was an appropriate use. But let me tell you something. To be honest, Reg gave you the appropriate song, Gone. And then I started singing another song to follow up, which was I Want It That Way, which is a Backstreet Boys song. However, I know the audience will be shocked to hear this. I don't really care about boy bands, and I didn't listen to boy bands during that period. I was old. Oh, they got some jams, Reg. Oh, I'm not going to deny. I'm not going to deny that they don't have some jams. I will listen to some. I will listen to them. Yeah, there you go.
Ain't no lie. Bye bye. Bye
bye. Bye bye. We all know the songs. I don't know the dances, but I know the songs. I'm not going to sit here and act like I don't like boy bands. They do have. They got some jams.
Hey,
but
hold on.
I did not pay that close attention. I never bought an album. I never went to a concert. You don't see me. I didn't learn the dances from the videos. You don't see me with a Backstreet Boys T-shirt on every day.
I love this caller so much.
I was a 68 degrees guy. 98 degrees. How many degrees?
She just started a relationship quarrel between us. Good. You're lying to the people. You're lying to the people by saying you didn't like boy bands.
I do not like boy bands.
Who do you have hanging up on the wall that's a boy band?
The Beastie Boys are not a boy band. Oh, New Kids on the Block?
I'm not talking about
that era of boy bands. Yes, the original boy bands. New Edition I was down with. New Kids on the Block I was down with for sure.
So I do stand corrected. First.
I do stand corrected. New Edition came first. I listened to New Edition.
Correct.
Telephone Man was my jam.
Correct.
Please. I'll fight you, Jalen.
And by the way, I love New Edition too.
68 Degrees is my favorite.
Mr. Telephone Man was ABC.
No. Mr. Telephone Man was New Edition. Jalen, first of all, the face that Jalen is giving me right now.
Jackson 5.
Oh,
ABC.
A knockoff of ABC. I thought you meant another bad creation, another boy band that I rep for. You see how I can get confused? There you go, Jalen. I got confused. Miscommunication. We're having a fight on a podcast right now. Let's listen to another voicemail.
I'm mad. I'm in the middle of brushing my teeth, listening to Jalen Jacoby like I do every single morning. And I hear Jalen Rose say, Manu Ginobili will not have a statue. I completely disagree. I believe that there will be a statue of Tim Duncan Tony Parker, and Manu Ginobili as a trio. What do you feel about the trio statue?
Oh,
Keep giving people what they want. Hold it down, Love Show. Peace.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate the love.
I like this call because that went through my mind as it came out of my mouth.
And I will say this. Everybody can't get a statue.
Oh, but you got
And I
Malone and
love
Stockton.
Manu Ginobili.
You got Malone and Stockton outside in Utah.
All right, so if we go into the history of the Spurs, you got George Gervin. Easily can have one finger rolling.
Sure.
Easy.
Sure.
The Admiral David Robinson.
Yep.
With a basketball in one hand, his hand on his heart in the other one.
Matt Bonner.
That would be cold.
Matt Bonner.
The Red Rocket.
We need that.
Obviously, Tim Duncan, Manu, and Tony are their big three. Yep. But the only thing is, that's just a lot of statues.
You know who's going to get a statue before anybody there? Coach Pop. If anyone's getting a statue outside of San Antonio, it's probably going to be Coach Pop. But if you do give Manu a statue, I want the artist to put a little dead bat at his feet. Just a little dead bat there. And they should give him a full head of hair too. You know, why not? It's a statue.
And all
it's there
I know
forever.
is before, no question. All I know is before Manu came to the league, he was international lefty repping the number 5. That's all I know.
Good point. Let's listen to one more voicemail.
Hey, Jalen Jacoby. What up, though? This is Luis from the 818. First of all, I wanted to give a big shout to my fiance, Maria. I'm getting married tomorrow, so power couple, shout out. Anyways, I had a question for you guys. What are the chances that my man Lonzo ends up making the All-Star game here in LA? You know, you might have a chance. Fan voting, he's popular, LA. All right, guys, let me know. Yup, medicinal.
Thank you for the call. Appreciate the support. A couple of things
Reggie
to
just
unpack.
dropped the first yet medicinal in the history of the podcast. Continue.
Yep. No doubt. First and foremost, don't get divorced. You're talking about medicinal. You're getting married to Maria tomorrow. Don't mess it up at the bachelor party tonight. Her family and friends are going to be there. Your family and friends are going to be there. Every phone has a camera. Don't mess it up. Number one. And two, congratulations and welcome to being a power couple. Now, as it relates to the NBA fan voting for the All-Star game, I've always deplored this because he just touched on something that could be an issue this year that nobody's talking about. And I'm glad he put it on wax. When you look up and Lonzo Ball got as many votes as Steph Curry,
and
you're going to feel like I feel.
And he's half the player that Kyle Kuzma is too. Like, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be like, if Kyle Kuzma will outplay Lonzo Ball, but Lonzo Ball will end up in All-Star. I don't think either of them will be All-Stars, to be honest with you. The Western Conference is just too stacked. But you know what? Like, who do you leave off?
The one thing I've learned, unless you're Yao Ming and you hadn't played a game and you voted to be a starter, or you're Allen Iverson and you're a 6-man in Detroit and you're voted to be the starter, other than that, the league, you normally finds a way to go in the back room and work these things out. Before you know it, he got the most votes, and you look up 2 weeks later, he's in 6.
Let's give people what they want.
Bowl season is here. Are you ready to cash in on what you know? Where you play is as important as what you play. The pros play at mybookie.ag. All the lines, odds, and plays, both college and pro, all at mybookie.ag. Play where you get paid super fast and there's never a hassle. Step up and mybookie.ag will match your deposit with up to a 50% bonus. Use promo code JJ50 to activate the offer. Don't leave the money on the table. Mybookie.ag, promo code JJ50, and your first deposit is matched up to 50%. Play where the pros play because they get paid. MyBookie.ag.
Jalen Rose is a former NHL player, gentleman by the name of Yuri Hoodler. He was on a flight from New York City to Prague. He was on Delta. And the crew came around. They brought the kitchen cart, and they asked him if he wanted Coke. And he said, yes, I would like some Coke. And then they came and brought him a Coca-Cola, and he said, no, I meant cocaine. What? These are according to reports. What? And that's not it, Mr. Rose. As the flight continued, he told the flight attendant that he did not mean Coca-Cola, he meant cocaine. Then he threatened to have the flight attendant killed by friends of his in Prague. And then the flight crew is accusing him of actually using cocaine in the bathroom. And then after he used the bathroom, he attempted to urinate in the kitchen cart, but was stopped by the flight attendant. And then he denied all of these accusations and called the whole thing a small incident. He's now a free agent, Mr. Rose. Do you think he's going to get picked up this offseason?
I don't think he's going to get picked up, especially by my Detroit Red Wings, who he used to play for.
Mm-hmm.
And how about this? In 2015, he won the Lady Bean Trophy in the NHL
Sportsmanship
for
Award.
sportsmanship and behavior.
It's a good sport. What? I don't know what he was trying to get out of that. It would have. Let's just move on. I'm freaked out by the whole thing.
Number one, he clearly was impaired. How about that?
Yes, he was definitely impaired.
And make quality decisions when that happened.
No, he did not make quality decisions at all.
And I love Delta. I mean, not only I'm a platinum member, but I'm Diamond Medallion.
Well, be careful when you're on the plane. Cam Newton disrespected a female writer and pretty much all females earlier this week in a well-covered press conference. He didn't apologize immediately to the beat writer that he disrespected afterwards, but now, after the backlash and losing some sponsors, he has. Let's listen.
After careful thought, I understand that my word choice was extremely degrading and disrespectful to women. And to be honest, that was not my intentions. And if you are a person who took offense to what I said, I sincerely apologize to you.
I thought it was a pretty good apology. You know what I mean? It was well-spoken. It was one take. It looked intimate. Like I liked the apology. He said all of the right things. But my question for you is, moving forward, do you think this will change the way that women now view Cam Newton and men?
He's a young man. We make foolish decisions via action or circumstance at that age. He apologized. He atoned for it. It doesn't mean that he doesn't still feel that way. Mm-hmm. So we don't truly know if his apology was one, as you mentioned, because he faced backlash and lost sponsors, or he truly felt remorse because he had an opportunity to apologize to the lady initially right afterwards, and he did not do so, who, by the way, I've looked online and I've seen a couple of tweets. Now people are looking back at some of the things that she's put out there in the atmosphere. Racist tweets, negative overtones, and things of that nature, which prove that all of us are flawed individuals. You could look into his apology. You could say, to the people that I offended, which means maybe I didn't offend everyone. But either way it goes, the bottom line is I'm pretty sure that he's remorseful for what he said, feels some sense of regret. I do think that female reporters may look at him and or try to cover him based on that situation, but I don't think a grudge is going to be held on either side.
Well, let's move on, because when I saw this news, I had one of those I need to talk to Jalen Rose about this moment. Adam Silver was talking with USA Today, and they were talking about the length of the season and just different things about the league, and here's what Adam Silver had to say, quote, "There's nothing magical about 82 games. It's been in place for 50 years, but for the long-term planning of the league, as we learn more about the human body and wear and tear of travel and the competitive landscape, invariably we'll look at the regular season. And in looking at the regular season, it may create more opportunities for international franchises." So let's just start with the length of the regular season. We always say on this show, follow the money. If you shorten the regular season from 82 games down games, you then lose millions of dollars in revenue. Do you think they would shorten the season that would cost them tens of millions of dollars at least?
In theory, you don't have to lose tens of millions of dollars because when you're the NBA, you create different revenue sources. For example, you see the logos that are now being represented on jerseys that teams are able to auction off to the highest bidder. And you mentioned international games. Mm-hmm. So therefore, when you're playing those games, you can sign lucrative deals via the country and or many networks to allow that to take place, which can balance the books in those scenarios. It sounds like to me, in a perfect world, what he's talking about is trimming the season maybe, I'll say five or six games.
Okay.
And here's what you get at that point. you can still play your division foes 4 times, individuals in your conference 3 times, and then the individuals from other conferences still play twice like that currently takes place. I think that gets you to a place where it balances it for everyone, but I don't think they're going to do it when they understand that millions of dollars could be lost. That's why I think my theory would be in play before it actually took place.
I know you have Adam Silver on the text. I know he calls you before he makes any changes to rules or the league or anything. I know you guys just talk a lot.
And he watches this program every night.
Every night he watches the program. If he can't make it, he just DVRs it and then just watches it the next morning. We know this for a fact. He texts us all the time. Yep. If he texted you and said, what should I do with the regular season, what would you suggest?
I would tell the commissioner what I just implied. That was basically something that creates a sense of balance if league owners want to continue to value divisions, if they want to continue to value conference games and keep that balance even. And as we acknowledged on our program, instead of going to a 1 through 16 playoff format, which we've screamed for years, if it's going to take 20 votes to do that, and the balance of power is in the West, which means all of the East individuals won't vote to do it, and you can't get it that way, I think trimming the season 5 or 6 games kind of finds a happy medium for everyone.
Jalen Rose, we need to discuss this story. A gentleman by the name of Bryant Johnson was in Wyoming, and he was a little intoxicated. And what he was explaining to the people that were speaking with him was that he was sent from the future, from the year 2048. He was sent back in time by aliens. And the way the aliens sent him back in time was to fill him with alcohol. He told officers that aliens were coming next year and he needed to make sure that everyone leave as fast as possible. Mr. Johnson also refused to speak with nurses and doctors, and instead, he insisted on speaking to the president of the town. What? The weirdest part about all of this is after he was charged with public intoxication, he blew a .13 blood alcohol level. Not that much over the legal limit. Are you as concerned as me that he might have a legitimate claim that he really is from the future and aliens are coming next year?
Not at all. Or he's a lightweight, to your point. How about this? First and foremost, if you're going to ask for the president, you got to ask for the president of the United States.
Yeah, he asked for the president of the town, which I like. Another thing is, I want to hang out with these aliens. I want these aliens that are going to fill me up with alcohol and try to send me back in time. That'd be so much fun. These aliens sound like a really good hang. I hope Mr. Johnson figures that all out.
You're the person that believes that people on other planets are currently watching this program, when I'm the person that believes it only happens here.
If there are life on other planets, they're definitely watching Jalen Jacoby.
Yep, medicinal.
Orenthal.
Juice.
Mr. Simpson. OJ, what are you doing? What are you doing, OJ? You just got out of jail. You're signing memorabilia in hotel rooms, and now he's at a Las Vegas country club.
Picked up in white trucks.
And he was overheard at the Las Vegas country club setting up a fake paparazzi shoot for himself, which he has done before. Those of you that have watched the ESPN documentary know that. And then, while he was shooting the fake paparazzi video that he set up, TMZ caught him shooting the fake paparazzi with real paparazzi. Jalen Rose, we're about 4 days in, whatever, and I'm already very concerned about the future for O.J. Simpson, and that there will be updates like this almost every single day. Do you have any advice for O.J.?
Get on an airplane and fly as far from the United States of America as possible.
There's a lot of other places where they won't recognize you. You can just sit on a beach. You can just lay low, man. OJ, lay low. Here's the thing. If you're in America to make money, guess what? You owe $100 million to the Goldman family. So, just
and also,
lay
you can
low.
sign memorabilia from anywhere.
You shouldn't be signing memorabilia. You shouldn't be setting up paparazzi. You shouldn't be getting caught setting up fake paparazzis. You should just lay low. OJ, go away. Come back later. Moving on. LeBron James was at practice at the Cleveland practice facility, and there was a very interesting intrusion.
The show is here. The show is here. Oh, Jim Ice, hello, dude. You see the shit show. Look at the shit show gang. There they go.
LeBron James pointing out the fact that the Keeping Up with the Kardashians camera crew is in the Cleveland practice facility. Jalen Rose, you played on an NBA basketball team. I'm sorry, you played on 7,000 NBA basketball teams. You've been in the locker room. You've been in the practice facility. Take us behind the curtain. What do his teammates think about this?
And he wasn't saying the champions here like Muhammad Ali.
No, he was not.
For those that didn't hear behind the beat. A couple of things are at play here. LeBron James, an iconic basketball player, is really serious about his craft and obviously loves his teammates. We've seen footage of him this summer embracing Tristan Thompson's mate.
Yep.
Having a really good time, Chloe, when they were out at Universal Studios. That's one side of it.
They're in love. They're going to be parents. Good for them.
Congratulations on Tristan and Chloe. They're supposed to be expecting. With that being said, then there's the flip side of LeBron where we ain't in Cali anymore.
This is work. This is the workplace.
I'm back in Cleveland now. I'm back in my facilities where we get it in. And we're trying to get ready to win a basketball championship, hopefully. We added D-Wade. We added Derrick Rose. We traded Kyrie Irving. We added Jay Crowder. And you know what else we did? We took you out of the starting lineup, Tristan.
Sure did, Tristan.
And you know what else would really be helpful right now? If these cameras weren't around. Mm-hmm. And I appreciate the fact that LeBron was so blunt, but here's the facts behind that. A team is so insulated like a family. And so when you make these comments, you don't come back from them. There's no taking this back. So I'm pretty sure as moguls, as a brand that the Kardashians have established themselves as, they clearly not going to like hearing that he said this. And you tell me, you bring me behind the curtain. How does Tristan handle the fact that his wifey ain't going to want to kick it with him no more because he showed his true colors? What do you think about that?
So
keeping home happy.
Keeping home happy is obviously number one. But here's the thing, what happened with this is I'm shocked that they were even allowed in the building. I'm shocked on behalf of the Cleveland Cavaliers press staff and all of those. Like, there was someone that gave them credentials, that gave them the address, that told them the time to show up, that allowed them to fill this here and then. And I almost blame not just Tristan, but also the people in the front office at the Cavs, the public relations departments, that they allowed this filming to happen at the practice facility. I'm shocked. And here's the thing, I just do the way to keep the real answer to your question, just do whatever your girl says. That's what you do. That's what you do. Do whatever your girl says, okay? That's always the answer. Your girl is right and you are wrong.
That's clearly what TT did in this case.
You know that someone asked Tristan Thompson, like, can you get us credentials to shoot at the practice facility? He was like, oh my God. What? I think I have to actually do this. I can't believe I'm writing this email.
Mine. Just come walk in.
Exactly.
Just take mine.
Just
Don't
come
say
with me.
nothing to
Put
nobody.
the cameras in the backs.
Walk
Put the
in.
cameras in the backs. Put the cameras in the backs.
No question.
There's another item.
You don't think LeBron knew about that previous? You think he was surprised?
You think he was surprised?
Yeah.
Something tells me not too much surprises LeBron at the Cleveland practice facility. Something tells me word would get around before it happened. Something tells me he premeditated this sort of hazing on social media.
Do you think he knew that was going to be out for public consumption? That he responded that way?
Of course he knew that. Jalen Rose, very quickly, I need you to take us behind the curtain on one more thing. Greg Popovich and LaMarcus Aldridge have gotten together, and they've ironed out all of their problems. They had a one-on-one, a tete-a-tete, a little conversation. Take us behind the curtains. What really happened in that conversation?
Oh, I really know how these conversations go. Hey, you tell the assistant coaches, hey, when LA get here, just tell them to come to my office. I want to chat with them for a minute. Because you got to get that emotional walk of mental anguish before you get to the principal's office. Mm-hmm. So LA's walking there like, oh, here we go. it's the opposite of the walk of shame. So it's like, oh. So you get to the office, hey, what up, big fella? You give a dap or whatever. You sit down, how's the family? You know, how's the kids? Everything going well? He's like, all right, big fella, you heard the news about Kawhi. You know, he's not going to be playing in the preseason. He's going to be limited this year. You know, Tony and Manu's gotten older. If you haven't realized, this is Tim's second year without the squad. Mm-hmm. And you're the only other guy besides those guys that's been to an all-star game a handful of times, that's making the top elite dollar because we saw how you played in Portland. I just going to write a number on the board. 20. Not points. Shots. That's how many I want you to take each game. Don't come to this locker room if you're not aggressive and you don't get up that many attempts. I don't care about the percentages. I don't care about the media. I don't care about your teammates or the fans. You worry about what I have to say, because what you did last year in the playoffs versus the Golden State Warriors, I was so disappointed I had to call you out in the media. I don't want to have to do that again. You clear? Clear. You want to shoot, right? Yeah. I want to shoot. All right, cool. I'll see you out of practice.
We'll be back next week. I want to thank everyone for listening on ESPN Radio, for watching on ESPN2 and ESPN News, and subscribing to the Jalen Jacoby podcast.